I haven't been a part of the rivalry in a long time.
What was it like to watch the first quarter of that game?
You know, we were actually driving to Houston for one of the state championship games. My daughter, they had to cheer, so we were on the road. My daughter kept giving me updates. I'm like, "You're lying, no way." She's like, "I'm serious." So it was crazy first quarter, no doubt.
Did you learn anything in particular from Saturday night?
Oh yeah, you always take things, things you can improve on there at the end. Maybe having a little better plan, communicating with Kalani on what we want to do right there at the end of the game. We knew we had a timeout, so that wasn't a concern. But just knowing whether we want to try to run another play or we just let the clock run down and kick it like we did. So. You always take away a few things from every game.
You feel like you took enough shots downfield?
Yeah, for the situation we were in. We wanted to take some shots, but we were running the ball too, so we wanted to make sure we stayed on them and kept the pressure on them that way. And so every game plays out differently, and as a former quarterback, you always want to take shots, but at the same time as a play caller, it's when's the right time and what's the defense you're seeing. So every week's going to be a little different. You know that, and you'll have them all going in, and we had a bunch we didn't call, so those will still be up.
Pleased overall?
Yeah, happy with it. It felt like we had some opportunities to really put it on them when it was 15-3, and slipped up in the red zone, had a couple third downs where we didn't execute real well or blew an assignment. And so those were drive killers at that time. But overall, we moved the ball really well. We had a lot of plays, and we did what, as coordinators, we all meet together with Coach Satake and get a plan on what that week looks like. And the plan was to keep the ball away from them and limit their number of plays, and we were able to do that. So was pleased with that part of it.
What are your memories of the rivalry as a player?
It was great for the state. The people here got excited, and the fans. And so as a player, we lost my redshirt freshman year, and so that put a bigger emphasis on the next year for us. So I think it's great for the state, great for football to have those rivalries, and have one early in the year like this is a lot of fun for the players.
Is it different at all, other than being played early in the year? Does the rivalry seem different to you, or is it the same as back then?
I think, with anything with social media, that kind of fuels the fire a lot of times for people. So it's definitely more intense probably than when I was here, because you didn't hear that part of it and see some of those things. So that adds to it a little bit. But I think with Kalani having been there a long time and the fans loving him, that when he coached at Utah, there's maybe not the bitterness that it has been in the past, but we've all got good relationships as coaches with those guys up there, and long-time friendships. And so as coaches, for me, it's preparing to beat a defense over there, not individuals, and you don't make it personal, but you also understand the significance for our fans around the state.
The fact that it's game 2 now and not at the end of the year where everything will be peaking and win or lose, you got to play a bunch more, does that change stuff?
I don't think so. I think you look forward to the week, and this is, every week you're going to, put emphasis on that game, and so, but being a rivalry and bragging rights, that adds to it. So, but at the same time, we as coaches know we got a long way to go, so it's not all or nothing at this point for us.
Ty, how much have you incorporated the playbook from when you played into the current one that you're using now?
There's some similarities formationally, and I think conceptually there's a lot of things that are similar. So obviously you add a lot to it, from the things you pick up along the way, and the game has changed. So you have to do more and give yourself some outs on certain plays. So, but overall, it's similar to what BYU was in the past, with kind of the run-pass emphasis.
What are your impressions of what Utah does defensively and just through the first game of the season?
Yeah, they're really good. They're aggressive. They play fast, play hard. They've got 2-3 deep at positions, so they bring a lot to the table. They're not a team that you're going to go in there and just wear down. So we're going to have to take our shots and at the same time play sound football and take care of it like we did last week. Keep ourselves in the game and give ourselves a chance at the end.
Would deception help maybe catch them off guard and a play or two?
Well, that's always something that, again, is in the game plan, but when's the right time to use it? So, you know, not a big trick play fan, but you always have a couple in your back pocket that you want to give them a look at. But I'm not big on deception, more on fundamentals and doing things the right way and knowing where we're going and then executing.
How do you attack a defense, specifically the secondary, which has so much experience?
Yeah, that's tough because they've seen it all. You know, they're going to see every look and have been through it all. So they're experienced and they'll be able to handle some of those things. But again, it comes down to execution, us being precise, and receivers setting up DBs on certain routes. And so you can't go in expecting to give them something they haven't seen before. You just got to go in and execute and be sharp on what you're calling.
Is this a much bigger test for the offensive line this week?
I think so. Yeah, no question. Their front, I think, is more physical, more talented than Arizona. So it'll be a little different type of game for us there. But having a game under our belt and playing at game speed definitely helps. So we feel like, you know, we'll have a plan going in, and our guys will be able to execute. You know, we've got a good offensive line as well.
Did Taysom run as much as you'd like?
Yeah, that was, you know, probably given the circumstances, each week's going to be different. There will be weeks where he runs less, and maybe some where he runs more. So, and we felt like we kept him on the edge and kind of out of harm's way where he could see what was coming. So I felt like he did a great job of managing that and run for a few first downs on passes, and then had some options for him to keep it as well.
Obviously, it gets really loud at Utah games. Now, you weren't at home, but you had about half the crowd. So was that really a test as far as communicating in a noisy environment?
Yeah, and we had a couple false starts, things that had a long run called back by one. So we've talked about that, and we'll work on that part of it, you know, and with the silent count and those kind of things, guys will be fine that way. So, but it is something that we got a little taste of last week, and now we get to clean it up and hopefully be better with it this week.
Did you consult any former coaches that you played under when you were assembling the playbook and the offense?
No, just you know, kind of took things that, you know, have been good, and then of course our staff has been real involved with Mike Impey in the run game and protections, and Steve Clark as well in run game and a lot of the concepts he's been a part of. And then Ben Cahoon brings us Canadian playbook, and we incorporate some of those concepts. So it's been a group effort, and some of the things we come out here on Tuesday and they look good and you keep them, and some of them look bad and you throw them out. So Tuesday's our experimental day a little bit.
All right, thanks, Ty.